Before your child turns 3, their brain is developing faster than it ever will again. This is the stage when the foundations for language, attention, emotional regulation, and learning are being built. And here is the surprising part. Some of the most powerful things shaping that brain are not big at all. They are tiny daily habits most parents overlook. Here are 5 simple daily habits that help build a stronger brain before age 3. Habit 1. Respond to your child's signals. Your child is in the kitchen with you and suddenly points at the dog walking past the window. You stop for a second, follow their point, and say, "Yes, that's a dog. The dog is walking." That may look like a tiny, everyday moment, but this is one of the most important things you can do for the developing brain. When your child points, looks, babbles, or brings you something and you respond, you are building the brain through back-and-forth interaction. You are teaching the brain that communication has meaning, that attention can be shared, that sounds, gestures, and words connect people. This is how early language begins. This is how social understanding begins. And this is also how emotional security begins. Because every time your child reaches out and you respond, the brain is learning, "My world makes sense. My signals matter. Another person can help me understand what I'm seeing." That is not a small moment. That is brain building. Habit 2. Read one picture book every day. At the end of the day, your child climbs into your lap and you open the same picture book you have already read many times before. You point to the pictures. You slow down, you name things. You let your child look. Maybe they turn the page too early. Maybe they point to the same animal again and again, and that simple daily habit is doing far more than helping them like books. Reading picture books helps build a richer language system in the brain. Because books expose children to words they do not hear as often in daily conversation. In normal daily life, we tend to use simple, repetitive words. But books introduce more varied language, more descriptive words, more unusual words, more emotional words, more story words. That is how vocabulary grows wider, not just faster. And it is not only about learning more words. Shared reading helps the brain connect words to images, images to meaning, and meaning to memory. It strengthens listening, it supports comprehension, it expands imagination, and it prepares the brain for later reading by teaching that pictures, symbols, sounds, and meaning all connect. It also builds attention, because when your child sits with one book, follows one story, and hears the same words repeated across many days, the brain is practicing focus, pattern recognition, and memory. So reading one picture book a day is not just a cozy routine. It is one of the simplest ways to grow vocabulary, language richness, understanding, and early literacy foundations at the same time. Habit 3. Protect floor time and movement. Your child spots a spoon across the room and starts moving toward it. They roll, they stretch, and they crawl, and they shift their body, that they try again. And while it may look like they are simply going after an object, the brain is doing much more than that. Movement is one of the main ways the young brain learns. When your child moves across the floor, the brain is learning where the body is in space. It is a learning balance, coordination, motor planning, effort, distance, cause and effect. The brain is constantly linking movement with information. If I shift my weight like this, I can reach. If I push forward, I can move closer. If I try again, I may get there. That is why simple floor time matters so much. It is not empty time. It is not just play. It is one of the most natural ways the brain builds coordination, body awareness, and problem solving. So sometimes the best thing you can do is not place the object directly into your child's hand. Sometimes the better gift is space. Space to move, space to try, space to let the brain learn through the body. Habit 4. Pause before helping too fast. Your child is trying to fit a shape into a sorter, but it will not go in. They try once, then again. They start getting frustrated, and your instinct is to step in immediately and fix it. But if you pause for a few seconds instead, something important can happen. That small struggle gives the brain a chance to work. The brain begins practicing persistence. It begins with practicing flexibility. It begins with practicing frustration tolerance. Instead of learning, an adult solves this for me right away. The brain starts learning, I can stay with a problem. I can try again. I can adjust. And that matters deeply, because this is how the foundations of executive function begin, not through lectures, not through discipline, but through ordinary little moments where a child runs into difficulty and gets a chance to keep going. Of course, this does not mean leaving your child overwhelmed. It means staying close, staying calm, but not rescuing too quickly. Because sometimes those few extra seconds are exactly where the brain grows. Habit 5. Let your child join real life. You're folding laundry and your child is standing beside you. Instead of trying to keep them occupied somewhere else, you let them stay with you. They hold a sock. They drop a small towel into the basket. They watch what you are doing. They try to copy you. It may not make the task faster, but it makes the moment far more valuable for development. Because when children join real life, the brain is learning in context. It is a learning sequence. First this, then that. It is learning imitation. It is learning participation. It is learning that daily life has structure and rhythm. And something even deeper is happening too. Your child begins to feel included, not entertained, included. And that matters because confidence does not only grow from praise, it also grows from participation. When your child feels, I am part of this. I do things with my family. I belong here. The brain is building not only skills, but identity. So instead of always asking, how do I keep my child busy while I do this? Try asking, how can my child share this moment with me? That one shift changes a lot, because the young brain does not only need activities made for children, it also needs real life shared with you. The deeper truth. What builds a strong brain before age 3 is usually not dramatic. It is not about doing more. It is not about buying more. And it is not about creating perfect activities. It is about what happens often. The moments that repeat, the moments that feel ordinary, the moments that most parents almost do not notice. A child points, and you respond. You open one book at the end of the day. You give them space to move. You wait a few extra seconds before stepping in. You let them stay close while real life is happening. That is how the brain is shaped in the early years. Not through intensity, through repetition. And that should be encouraging, because some of the most powerful things for your child's brain are already inside the life you are living now. So you do not need to change everything tonight. Just look at one ordinary moment in your day a little differently. Maybe it is breakfast. Maybe it is bedtime. Maybe it is laundry. Maybe it is the moment your child reaches for you, and this time you slow down and respond. Because before age 3, the brain is built in moments like that. Quiet moments, repeated moments, connected moments. And if this video helped you, please like, subscribe, and stay with this channel for more science-based, practical parenting content. Thank you so much for watching until the end. I'm really glad you were here, and I'll see you in the next video.